Our topic today is all about the 10 mythological creatures and shapeshifters. Shapeshifting is a typical subject in folklore and fables. Numerous unbelievable creatures have this capacity, which is spoken to in a full body change. It empowers these beings to deceive, beguile, chase, and execute humans. Since forever, many homicide binges have been credited to these creatures. Number 1. Wendigo. The Wendigo is a creature which appears in the Algonquian people's mythology. The Wendigo's descriptions vary across culture but are generally described as a large alien-like canine beast. They are malevolent and cannibalistic beings. Wendigos are closely related to winter, north, and cold. If human beings perform cannibalism, they will transform into Wendigos. The person becomes possessed by the beast's evil spirit, typically in a dream. If the person is transformed, he becomes aggressive and obsessed with consuming human flesh. These creatures represent gluttony, greed, and excess. They never feel comfortable with one person being killed and eaten. Wendigos actively seeks out new victims. They have been known as giants, and the human would grow dramatically in size upon transformation. They inhabit mountainous, rural, and heavily forested areas. The Wendigo has recently become an object of fear, just like the ghost, werewolf, or zombie. Number 2. Berserker. Berserkers were a Norse group of warriors. They are human, but they project an almost uncontrollable, trance-like rage in battle, and transformed into wolves, bears, and wild bulls. This made it possible for the men to fight more effectively. Their name gave rise to the berserk English word. Berserkers were said to wear bears and wolves' pelts when they went into combat, and could make the complete transition they thought was necessary. They have bloodshot eyes, tremendous stamina, and endurance. Different Scandinavian kings recruited berserkers as part of their army or as hired men and royal guards. Number 3. Vampires. Vampires are ancient beings which are known to feed on human and animal blood. It is difficult to make a single, conclusive definition of the folkloric vampire, although in appearance, ruddy, purplish, or dark color they were commonly described as bloated. They are shapeshifters and can take many forms, mostly bats or human beings. Traditionally, vampires are identified as the undead, although some cultures believe they may be a living creature. Modern literature started to depict vampires as gaunt and translucent, starting in the 19th century. In the past, in Europe, vampire superstition led to mass hysteria which resulted in staking bodies and accusing people of vampirism. Many vampires have been attributed to violent killing sprees. They are known to terrorize their previous communities and will seduce their victims, waiting to strike the neck at the right moment. The creatures will often visit their relatives and their spouses in particular. Vampires are masters of camouflage and disguise. The most recent case of vampirism reported is that of 19-year-old Mercy Brown, who died in 1892, at Exeter, Rhode Island. Number 4. Leshi. The Leshi is a male woodland spirit believed to protect nature and the forest in Slavic mythology. They usually appear as tall men, but are capable of changing size and shaping into any shape, animal or plant. Leshis have beards made from living grass and vineyards, and are frequently portrayed with a tail, hooves, and horns. The Leshi has hair, fair skin, and dark green eyes. They are the forest lords and have close relations to gray wolves, bears and other animal life. It looks like a typical peasant when a Leshi is in human form, though its eyes glow. The creatures can shrink to the height of a grass blade, or grow to the size of the tallest trees. It is widely believed that Leshis can confuse peasants, make people ill, and even tickle them to death. These beings are appallingly mischievous and cry horrendously. Leshis can, however, mimic human voices as well, and sometimes attract lost wanderers to their caves. They are not really bad, but they love misguiding people and abducting young women. Number 5. Werewolves. Werewolves are mythological humans who can transform into wolves. With a bite, they can infect the human population. The transformation of the creature is always correlated with a full moon. The mythology of the werewolves originated in Europe, but there are many accounts found throughout the ancient world. The werewolf's characteristics include crossing both eyebrows at the nose bridge, sharp fingernails, low-set ears and a swinging stance. They have superhuman strength and senses far beyond those of wolves or men. It is understood that the beasts feed on poor and easy prey. An individual can be marked as a werewolf by cutting hair into his flesh, or exposing special bristles under his tongue. When the creature returns to the human form, it becomes frail and weaker. Wolf attacks on humans had been widely documented causes of mass death in Europe, up until the 20th century. Number 6. Oswang. In Filipino mythology, an Oswang is a mythical creature. The Oswang legend is well known all over the Philippines except in some regions. The creature is characterized as a vampire-witch hybrid, and is almost always female. The Oswang is a dead eater and a cannibal. They can turn themselves into either a giant black dog or a black boar. At night, these beings hunt and kill humans. It's believed that garlic bulbs, holy water, and other artifacts repel Oswang. A lot of stories revolve around eating children and unborn fetuses from these creatures. They appear natural in human form and are quiet, reserved, and elusive. They turn themselves into a terrifying beast at night. Its bloodshot eyes are a key characteristic of the Oswang. In the Middle Ages, the Oswang was among the Philippines' most feared mythical creatures. Number 7. Puka. The Puka is a mythical Celtic folklore creature, most commonly in Ireland, Western Scotland and Wales. The Puka is an ultimate shapeshifter and mythological fairy. The creatures may assume a number of frightening shapes, including a horse, rabbit, donkey, goblin or dog. Its fur is always black, no matter what form the Puka takes. Most generally, they are known as a black horse with a flowing mane and luminescent orange eyes. Pukas have the ability to use human speech, and even though they are known to give good advice, they also enjoy confounding and intimidating people. Pukas are fond of riddles, and sociable beings. They enjoy gathering and playing pranks on unsuspecting people and kids. The Puka is seen as a creature of the mountains and hills in many parts of the world. They are highly loved and will support humans if handled kindly. Number 8. Selkie. Selkies are beings found in the folklore of Faroese, Icelandic, Irish, and Scots. They're capable of transforming themselves from seal to human form. Selkies can change their form by shedding their seal skin, which is a risky endeavor because they have to reapply the same skin to return to seal form. Stories about these beings are typically romantic tragedies. They are only allowed to make contact with humans for a brief time until they have to return to the sea. Human beings have in many cases fallen unknowingly in love with Selkies. Other times, the Selkie's skin has been hidden by humans, thereby preventing it from returning to seal form. Male Selkies in their human form are very beautiful and have great powers of seduction over women. If a man finds and steals the skin of a female Selkie, then she is under his influence and is always forced to become his wife. They are also known to draw humans into the sea by producing illusions and a false sense of truth. Number 9. Kitsune. The Kitsune is an intelligent and mystical being in Japanese folklore. With age, maturity, and life experience, the power of the creature increases. Kitsune is a fox in Japan. They are capable of taking human form and are great tricksters. It is noted the creatures have as many as 9 tails. When a kitsune reaches a certain age, normally 100 years, it can take on human form. They like to assume the form of a beautiful woman, young girl, or elderly man. Kitsune hate and dislike dogs. They can manifest themselves freely in the dreams of people, and construct illusions so complex that they are viewed as reality. The kitsune can fly, become invisible, and often produce fire or lightning. The creatures have the ability to bend time, space, and can also drive people mad in some regions of the world. And last, but not the least, Number 10. Encantado. An Encantado is a legendary Brazilian creature. They live in a vast, submarine domain called the Encanti. Encantados are most commonly considered a type of freshwater dolphin or sea snake that can shape into human form. They're distinguished by superior musical ability, seduction, and party attraction. The creature's transformation into human form seems to be uncommon and typically happens at night. Although the Encantado wears a hat in human form to cover his protruding forehead, it doesn't disappear while changing forms. They often display magical abilities, such as the power to control storms and haunt humans. They use different methods of mind control and can cause disease, insanity, and even death. These beings are notorious for abducting people. Because of this, many villagers will not go by night near the Amazon River. Many South Americans believe that the Encantado exists and claim to have seen and interacted with the species. Those are the 10 mythological creatures and shapeshifters. Tell us what's your favorite from these 10 mythological beings in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.